Well, good morning, everyone. It's morning here, and I am so happy to be with this august body of change makers and both women and men who are working diligently to build a better world. Yesterday was International Women's Day here in the United States, and it was a day of both great celebration, but it was also a solemn day because we've been seeing an erosion in women's rights globally. I'm sure you're all familiar with the Project 2025 plan, which many people at first thought was only going to impact the United States of America, but turns out this diabolical plan was actually brainstormed in Hungary. They wanted to see how Viktor Orban had so successfully decimated that democracy. And they also had the opportunity to literally play with a country in South America and institute some of their plans. And what they have done is privatize, gut, and again, impact democracy in just horrendous ways. So the theme for International Women's Day, which is Accelerate Action, couldn't be more appropriate. And I'm here today. I wear a lot of hats. I'm a minister and I run the Oracle Institute and I'm building an intentional community here. But the hat I'm wearing today is as one of the leaders of the Founding Mothers Movement, which started as a collaboratory project of the Evolutionary Leaders, which is a group of futurists. And it was women only. And the best and the brightest came in to formulate a response to, this 20-year decline in democracy, the reignition of oppression against women. In the United States, it was the reversal of Roe v. Wade, which really told us we were in trouble here. So constitutional rights have been removed. So it started as a project of the Evolutionary Leaders. Rianne Eisler was involved, Jude Currivan's involved, Anna Lou Smitsman, just amazing women from around the planet. And also a lot of lawyers. We had seven female attorneys involved. And for about 9 months, which is kind of appropriate, our gestation period, for 9 months, we were the Founding Mothers Commission. And then we launched in July of 2024, the Founding Mothers Movement. So it is not another nonprofit. I want to start by saying that with all of this legal brain power, we realize that that's really not the way to go, number one, because we want this movement to be, this multi-headed hydra. So it is not another nonprofit. It is simply a brand. It is a meta unity brand. And one of the first things that we did was reignite the International Congress of Women, which had become dormant after women won the right to vote. So it's just sort of been languishing there. It was set up in the late 1800s, and they met for the first time in 1878 in Paris. And you can just imagine these women getting on ships and just the difficulty in calling a Congress of Women. Now it's a little easier. So we are meeting once a month. We meet the first Saturday of every month at 11 a.m. Eastern, which right now is a time that's working around the world. And we do have delegates from every continent. The Congress is private because we, first off, are being very careful vetting. Almost every 21st century movement has been infiltrated. So we're being very careful to ensure that all the partners in the movement and all the delegates in the Congress are real and share our progressive and pluralistic values. In addition to reestablishing the Women's Congress and frankly reimagining it, we applied a governance architecture that's quite unique. It's a blend of sociocracy, and if you don't know what that is a circle principle with overlapping circles so that information is constantly being shared. There are many feedback loops, and we actually don't vote in the old school way. Instead of saying, all those in favor, raise your hand, we say, here's the proposal. If you have an objection, let us know. And oftentimes there's silence because the legislation we're passing is very well drafted, researched, and so this consent model allows us to move very quickly in our Women's Congress. The next thing we did was pass the Founding Mothers Proclamation, because you can't have a movement without your demands. And I'll add that many of us are devotees and students of Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and we have looked at why the movements of the 21st century have failed, and failed miserably, I will add, because they tend to leave a power vacuum after they fail, during which the bad guys come in and grab even more power. So back to demands. We drafted the Founding Mothers Proclamation, and it's got two sections. It's got we're calling it the World Constitution for Women. And in that first half of the document, we set forth the human rights that, of course, all women should have. Our goal, again, is partnership, total and real partnership on planet Earth. So that's the first half of the document. And then for this storied body, it might be the second half of the document that's even more interesting, because the second half is our peace plan. And as a member of WCPA, and having been around Glenn Martin for well over a decade and learning about Earth federalism and its storied history, we all know this is a lawless planet. So in the second half of the proclamation, we actually cite the Earth Constitution as presenting a very good, if not the template for how to establish world law that is binding. So we deal with the fact that the Security Council at the United Nations is rogue. We deal with the fact that the International Court of Justice and the International Criminal Court do not have mandatory jurisdiction. So it's a very sophisticated document, which we packed into 5 pages. I think there's a chat on this. I'm not as familiar with this platform as Zoom, but I'm going to put some links in the chat. I would ask you all to read the Founding Mothers Proclamation. We have a petition right now on IFGSJEE, which is better known around the world than change.org, which is a petition platform in the US. So we've got it posted there. I'm going to ask all of you to read it, hopefully sign it. And I guess I'll stop there. I think I was only supposed to go for 5 minutes. I have a lot more I could share. Let me add this. So starting on January 1st, we have commenced direct action campaigns. And we don't look like Women's March. We're not walking down the streets holding posters and chanting and doing things like that. Our campaigns are meant to be very novel, non-cooperation efforts, similar to the very creative direct actions that Gandhi did. So yesterday we were part of a global call for a strike, but in our case, we were asking women to do really just poetic things, a children's read-in, or host a movie night, or go to your state capital and let your elected officials know that you are not okay with what's happening, not just in the United States, but globally. And our campaigns are escalating. So our next campaign is the Red Tent Movement. We're mapping it right now, and that's going to be a week-long celebration around the world. I'm going to have more information about that soon, but it's based on when we went from polytheism, the whole planet basically was polytheistic a few thousand years ago, when the Abrahamic religions brought in this male monotheism. So the book is about that. And the loss of the divine feminine. And so that is going to be the theme of the next direct action. And then at the end of the year is our big one. We're going to do a 30-day march from the Peace Pentagon to the War Pentagon. And that one's just being outlined to start right now, but we're focused on the red tent movement. So please go to our website. I can share really quick. I think I can. Let's see.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll stop. I'm not sure how to share here. But anyway, I'll put some things in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you so much for this time.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks a lot, Dr. George, for your very informative and very fruitful and knowledgeable information. So we are very much grateful to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now I request Dr. Ushashi for handling the panel discussion. Dr. Ushashi? Ushashi?
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning, good evening, namaskar, everybody. And these are the greetings on Women's Day, which will run actually. It has been said that Women's Day is not only for one day, but forever. As Laura has rightly said, hello, change makers. Yes, we are already empowered. We are no longer liberated and no longer working for liberation, but we are already liberated women. We are change makers, and as Laura said rightly, there's so much more for us to do and handle. We are progressive, and this movement has to go on and on. Thank you very much, Laura. Now, at the outset, shall I invite Phyllis or Madam Sima?
No.
Presiding?
Nasrim.
Nasrim, ma'am. Yeah.
Presiding.
Okay.
Phyllis is presiding.
Phyllis
Yes.
should be presiding. Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
So after panel discussion,
yes.
you invite.
To start with today's discussion session, the major topic is accelerate action for women empowerment. If we are already empowered, but then let us accelerate action. And we have Professor Nasrim, former head and dean, Department of Education, and she is presently working as Professor, Department of Education, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. She will speak on need to accelerate action for achieving women empowerment. And Nasrin, I believe that you tell me, or you'd be talking about the movement, what are the further needs. So I hereby invite a very knowledgeable, intellectual Professor Nasrin. Professor Nasrin, please come on the stage.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Ushashi, madam. And it is my privilege to speak on the topic, and respected Dylan Martin, sir, Madam Phyllis, and Dr. Laura, and of course, director of this series, Professor Himlata Talesra, and Professor Dashura ji, who is also here, and Narasimha ji, and to all others, those who are present here, my regards to all of you, and best wishes on the event on this day also, International Women's Day.
Can I request you, ma'am, Nasrim, to kindly, ma'am, video on करेंगे?
Video on करते हैं.
जी, ma'am. Thank you so much.
The topic on which I am going to deliver the lecture, or the few views only, this is on the accelerating this empowerment, and what are the strategies through which we can go and we can move in future. So the first quote that given by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru is really wonderful and really express our views and real grassroots level reality. That is, if you educate a man, you educate an individual, and if you educate a woman, you educate a whole family. So considering this slogan or this statement of our ex-Prime Minister, I realized that the women empowerment is really very essential in present day. As we should learn about the gender equality. The gender equality has been termed as a kind of biological gender, that is male and female. But when we say about this equality, we should give justice to both the genders. Now we come to the NEP 2020 because the time is very short. When we say about when we go through this National Education Policy 2020, we also find that equity and equality, accountability, quality, these all are the fundamental principle of this policy. But the equity and inclusive, these are the two terms that has been given in this policy. And in India, we are trying to get this kind of objectives. Embrace the equity. Those who are not able to go to or not able opportunity to get the education, we have to provide them. The Indian government has provided lot of schemes. Few schemes I am telling here very quickly. Say for example, one is the Samagra Shiksha, that is for primary education, and others constitutional provisions are also there. And apart from this, the main uh, reservation bill, the women reservation bill in 2008, and reservation for women in Panchayati Raj institution, parliamentary committee on empowerment of women, these all have been done by the government of India. So this shows that we all are, and our Indian government is also having a kind of vision and mission to accelerate the women empowerment. And now we come to the obstacles, that is not causes that are hindrance in the empowerment of the women. And these are the household chores, because the female students are not going to school just because they share household activities, and the male counterpart is preferred over the female education. So this kind of mindset and this kind of causes are also hindrance in the path of women empowerment. And parental attitude towards females, lack of essential facilities in colleges. Sometimes it happened that the colleges are far away from the home of the female students, and they are unable to go there, and there is no transport facility, so the parents don't allow them to attend the schools. Lack of awareness, sometimes it happens because the unemployment is also a kind of problem, that when we see all the scenario, Indian scenario, that the number of unemployment are increasing day by day. So the general attitude of the parent is that by going to the school, what you will get, just to get the degree is not the sufficient for you. But in case of NEP 2020, it says that we provide degree as well as we provide skills. So we have restructured the education system as per the need of the female counterparts and male counterparts also. And that will be a stone path, or that will be a great achievement of our Indian education system, where we are trying to embrace the equity. Apart from this poverty, that is this not able to pay the fee, but certain fellowships and scholarships are also there, and students are availing, but few are not aware, because these awareness is not reaching to the proper place or the right place where it should be. So due to this poverty, they are unable, and they say that how we will pay the this fee of the college. Lack of parental support, prejudices about women's abilities, and conflict-ridden environment. These all are the causes that we identify in the obstacle of the women empowerment. But these can be overcome. So the strategy that I have framed for this is that for the poverty and for a kind of this lack of awareness regarding the education, the parents be oriented. And those who are having this education and they are having a kind of good position in the society, they must be given a role model for our parents and to our female counterparts also. You know that few women, those who were really not able to get the achievement due to their disability, but they made their efforts and they could get the maximum achievement. I put these names. Malini Chip, she is from the Bombay, and Malini Chip was handicapped. She has the cerebral palsy, but in spite of this this disease, she could be able to type the book, and with the help of the little finger, she typed the book, and she is also known as Little Finger in our English literature. So these kind of examples we should put forth before our population, those who are not having a kind of proper awareness. Apart from this, another one, she reached to the Himalayan Choti, and they are the Arunima Sinha. So she didn't have legs, but in spite of this disability, she could reach to the maximum of the Everest, peak of the Everest. So another, so many examples are there in society. They should be promoted and they should be encouraged. What is the powerful tool is the education. If you will educate them, you can get rid of this. So our governmental efforts and our policy makers and our other efforts have been made in this path, but still there is need to accelerate the women for empowerment. And my suggestion is that the fellowship, scholarships, and a kind of reservation in jobs and other kind of skill oriented courses. There's those who are having only high school and those are having intermediate, they can get the skill oriented courses, and they could able to earn as well as learn. So earning and learning all together can be promoted through this kind of strategy. Experiential learning that was proposed by our Rashtrapita Mahatma Gandhi, it was also having the same spirit. So the students, those female counterparts, those who are not having this education, they may be promoted in that way. No doubt every individual having potential, and only there is need to push them and to bring them to the public domain, so that we at least we can produce certain role models in that form. So I would also like to put the example of this Aligarh Muslim University. We are having this AMU club. In AMU club, we are all the female teachers. They have one association, and monthly we are meeting and we are trying to chalk out the plan that what we have to do for the females, those who are poor, those who are unable to go. And few example from Muslim community are also there. That is our women's college is also there, and the principal of women's college is now vice chancellor of our university. And Begum Sultan Jahan, who was the chancellor of this university, she belongs to Bhopal, and she did a lot of efforts to encourage the female counterparts. And there is a Papa Mia school that is where we are also educating our girls student. And Sajida Zaidi is also one of the example, and other example, Begum Para, Tazeen Fatima, Asma Hussain, Prerna Kohli, she is also from Aligarh Muslim University, a good psychologist, Mumtaz Jahan, and Khushbu Mirza. These are the examples, those who are not from a very good socio-economic background, but the efforts were made by them, and there was certain kind of incentives, there certain kind of vision and mission, they made this kind of progress. So this is enough from my side. And thank you very much for listening me patiently and giving me this opportunity. I also pay my hearty thanks to Professor Himlata Talisra Madam, Seema Tyagi Madam, and thank you Ushashi Madam, who is chairing this session. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. The empowered, progressive, and a role model woman, Professor Nasrim. You are also to be quoted in the line of role models who have come up and people look up to you, all the communities. They look up to you also as a singular role model, especially people like us also. We see while you talk about the strategies and while you talk about restructuring the education system. Today we do not have much time, but thank you very much. We'll come to the question answer section, then we'll talk more. I pass over to our second panelist, whose subject I would first of all declare, and that is promote economic empowerment among women. Indian women are known for saving. Indian women are also known for the financial management. We have a finance minister as Nirmala Sitharaman. Same way, it's not only in India, throughout the globe, people are there who are taking care of the economic part of the global management. So hereby, I most humbly invite Dr. Garima Sharma, founder and director, Genesis of Educational Impressions, Uttarakhand. She is a very learned lady, and at the same time, she has her knowledge in every field. But here, we have invited her as a promoter of economic development and specifically women. Madam Garima Sharma, please. Madam Garima Sharma, please.
Good evening, ma'am.
Garima?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. And good evening, all of you. And thank you very much, ma'am, for inviting me on such a nice topic. And first of all, I want to thank Hemlata ma'am and other panelists also.
Okay.
So,
Open your mic.
Ma'am,
Video. No,
Ma'am,
camera. Yeah.
Ma'am, camera already on?
Camera.
Are you
No.
on? Ma'am,
You're
it
not
is on.
visible, ma'am.
But my camera is on, ma'am. Wait a minute. Now?
We can hear you, madam. We can hear you.
No, but
Madam,
you should open, if possible, your camera.
Actually, ma'am, I can see my video, but I don't know why it is not visible for you. Now it's okay?
No.
Okay,
is
ma'am,
not
then we can
okay.
go
We
ahead.
can't see
Yeah,
you.
then we can go ahead, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay.
My topic is economic empowerment of the women. And we know that we are creating a fair, equitable, and thriving society. And we provide women with necessary tools, resources, and opportunities to generate their own income, independent financial decisions, and actively participate in economic sphere. But this is a multifaceted approach we can apply in we can apply in the field in several fields like education. We can ensure girls and women to access the equally schooling and job training in fundamental. This includes not only primary and secondary education, but also higher education and vocational training program also tailored to market demands. because nowadays we are having degree, but we don't have a particular skill. So for women, we need to more vocational training and skill development program. Next is we have to make equal job opportunities for women. Like nowadays, women removing all barriers and doing multidisciplinary tasks. But we should involve women in other tasks also and give equal job opportunity. This involves addressing both overt or discrimination and subtle biases in hiring practices, as well as promoting diversity and inclusion in all sectors of the economy. Next, we can pay women fair pay because in some area, in some fields, the pay structure is not fair for women. Like if we are working in a university, so in university management, they used to pay less to the woman in compared to men. So fair pay will help to increase the economic empowerment in the women. Next is business support. Government is provide so many loans, and government is providing mentorship and different resources for women, like Lakpati Didi Yojana. Modi government started Lakpati Didi Yojana, and this government started startup programs. And in India, different states, they're having different schemes for women. So this type of this type of programs this type of program can increase the women economic and empower the women. So this include access to capital, business incubators, networking opportunities. All these things can increase the women-owned businesses. Next is work-life balance is very important for women, and it can increase promoting policies that women can manage both work and family responsibility is important. They may include flexible working hours, parental leave policies, affordable childcare options, and support for caregivers. Next is leadership role also. We can encouraging more women for more in management and decision-making position is crucial for diverse perspectives in business and policy making. Because we have a finance minister, she is a woman, but now also we have less women in the decision making position. This involves addressing the glass ceiling through mentorship program, leadership training, and policies promoting gender diversity in senior roles. Next is legal rights. We can strengthen the women that protect women economic interest is essential. This includes property rights, inheritance laws, protection against workplace discrimination, and legal resources for economic violation. Financial literacy is also important for women, like teaching women about money management. Already Indian women know very well how to manage money, and I think in India only Indian women, she say money very carefully, but she don't know how to start business, how to run a business. So we can teach a woman about money management, and investing is a key to their economic empowerment. We can teach her to how to invest in different schemes. This involves education on budgeting, saving, investing, and understanding financial products and services. Next is technology access. Women and ensuring women can use digital tools for work and business is increasing important in the modern economy. We have rural women also, and she don't know how to access the technology. So we can organize training programs, and we can teach them how they can use the technology. So this includes access to device, internet connectivity, and training in digital skills. And women can learn artificial intelligence courses, coding, and other programs also. Now we can change our attitude, and we can change challenging stereotypes about women role in the economy is necessary. We are male dominating society, and we think that women cannot go for leadership role for business, but we have to change our attitude. We have to change our attitude about the women. So this involves public awareness campaign, education, and promoting positive role about women. By promoting, if we will promote women in all these areas, we can create a world where women have equal economic power and opportunities. And this approach benefits not just women, but entire communities and economies. When women are economically empowered, they tend to invest more in their families' health, education, and well-being, and creating a positive ripple effect. Moreover, increasing women participation in the workforce and entrepreneurship can significantly boost economic growth. Studies have shown that closing the gender gap in workplace participation could add trillions to global GDP. It also leads to more diverse and innovative workplaces, as different perspectives and experiences contribute to problem solving and creativity. Additionally, economically empowered women are better equipped to escape abusive situations, have more say in household decisions, and are more likely to participate in civic and political processes. This contributes to more balanced and representative decision making at all levels of society. Achieving economic empowerment for the women requires a concerted effort from governments, businesses, educational institutions, and society at large. It involves challenging deeply ingrained cultural norms, restructuring economic system, and reimaging traditional power structures. While progress has been made in many areas, there is much work to be done to ensure true economic equality for women worldwide. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It had been a power-packed lecture, and then, as we understand, Garima Madam, in particular, she gave so many visions. And lastly, it was said that all have to change their attitude. All those who are not having proper attitude, they need to change their attitude globally to give respect, dignity, and to accept the talent that women already have. Real empowerment is that. We say that we are empowered, we are really empowered, but somewhere, either at home or some part of the society, we still face that attitudinal disparity. I understand that. Thank you very much, Madam. Garima Madam, you have thrown light on that part also, and we'll come to the discussion session then. Now, with us we have Dr. Kichori Das, who could not.
We will go to Himlata, ma'am.
Who could not, 1 minute, who could not join us because of some family emergency. So hereby, I invite Dr. Hemlata Thalesra, who is leader of leaders, and she will be considering the topic of leadership. Professor Hemlata Thalesra has held various top positions But as of now, she is Director Srimati K.B. Dave, College of Education, Hemchandracharya, North Gujarat University. And she is going to speak on need to empower women for global leadership. So a leader, Hemlata, is going to educate us and throw light on global leadership. Hemlata madam, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ushashi. In honor of the day, dates in it, International Women's Day 2025, I am sharing my thoughts on need of empowering women in leadership. Celebrating International Women's Day is not enough to grow women in their career. Women need across to continuous leadership development. So many organizations are offering leadership development programs for women like develop leadership skill, team building, develop confidence, etc. In spite of development in all spheres of life, large number of women are facing many challenges. And these challenges are: number one is gender bias. Despite equal qualification, women are often overlooked for leadership positions in favor of their male counterparts. Second is workplace discrimination. Women often receive subtle forms of discrimination and harassment in the workplace, undermining their confidence and sense of belongingness. Third is lack of representation. Lack of female role models and mentors in leadership positions can be off-putting for aspiring women. One is gender pay gap. Women continue to earn less than men in many jobs for carrying out the same work, which unfairly limits their financial independence in a costly world. And fifth is work-life balance struggles. Unfortunately, and more often than not, society still expects women to bear the brunt of household and childcare responsibilities, making challenges to pursue career advancement. There is one question: then why women leadership is needed? In my view, I completed PhD in women education, higher education among women, and according to the findings of my PhD, women have many qualities of leadership and they should empower and need global leadership. And these are: women value work, life balance. Women can easily focus on their families and their professional work lives simultaneously. They are natural multitaskers. They have the innate ability to guide between different tasks and while assuming multiple responsibilities. Second is women are more inclusive. According to the global report, gender equality remains a significant challenge in many workplaces around the world, including in India. In many dominated Indian society, people believe that women should stay at home. In many places, women have historically faced significant barriers to achieve equal treatment in their workplace. This inequality can have severe consequences both for individual women and for society as a whole. Research shows that in leadership role, more women are inclusive. They can lead better policies and the responsibilities. Inclusivity in workplace is a critical and aspect of creating a thriving and productive work environment. Number three is women focus on teamwork. Women often focus on teamwork by prioritizing strong communication, actively listening to diverse perspectives, fostering collaboration, and demonstrating a higher level of emotional intelligence, which allows them to build strong relationship with a team, supporting each other and working collaboratively towards shared goal and ensure everyone feels valued. Then women are more emphatic on the basis of researches. And according to my research also, it is focused that women are more emphatic and forgiveness than men. Therefore, the women are stronger and more cultural and socialized. Some studies found that there is no difference found between men and women. Capacity to recognize their own or their people's emotions. And next is women are good multitasking. At a time, is handle the managing activities and also handle the families, household activities, and leading to the perception that they are naturally better to manage. And they are motivated by challenges also. Through personal growth, overcoming obstacles, achieving goals, and gaining respect. They are strong communicators also. In certain communications, skill like active listening, emotional expression, and build rapport, women, and diverse perspective driven innovations. Different researches shows that diverse leadership teams lead to better decision making and overall success. Then intelligence. Women are often praised for their empathy and emotional intelligence. Being in touch with your feeling is a stereotype applied to women, which can be harmful. As for one, it doesn't apply to all women, and also it can minimize women's ability to think rationally and logically. Nevertheless, high emotional intelligence is an essential quality for good leadership. The ability to connect with others on a deeper level encourage trust and openness and are contributing to employee satisfaction. And next is inclusive leadership style. Women tend to adopt a more inclusive leadership style, valuing input from all team members and carrying a supportive work environment also. This collaborative approach promotes diversity and inclusion and leading to higher employment. And next is role models for further generation by breaking barriers and shelters. Glass selling female leaders inspire future generation of women in pursuing their dreams and strive to leadership roles. And to conclude, therefore, there is an urgent need to recognize the importance of empower women and women leaders. We need women leaders to enable them to reach their full potential, ultimately leading to greater innovation, higher productivity, and more prosperous society. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Dr. Ushashi.
Thank you very much. Our great leader, Dr. Professor Hemlata Thalesra. That was a very educative speech, and I've noted down all the suggestions that you have given. Now, without wasting time, I am hereby inviting Dr. Seema Tyagi, Assistant Professor, Swami Keshwanand, Rajasthan Agriculture University, Bikaner. She will speak on need to develop sense of self-worth among women. Now, this is a psychological side of the women's personality. And she is the right person to throw many lights on this, but this will be directly connected to Madam Hemlata's topic on leadership. So, believing that all of us are empowered and all of us are more or less leaders in some place or the other, I hereby invite Dr. Seema Tyagi to throw some light on the given topic of self-worth among women. Dr. Seema Tyagi, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I request the technical person to kindly share the screen. Yeah, the PPTs. Yeah, the today's topic is very relevant as far as women empowerment is concerned, and we are celebrating this International Women's Day that holds significance to how a woman can be empowered. When we are talking in terms of developing women as such, it is not just limited to certain women, but it is the global women that we seek that they develop. And as we all know, the topic that has been given to me for discussion is self-worth. Need to develop a sense of self-worth among women. When we talk in next, when we talk in terms of self-worth, it is important that we get to know what is actually self-worth. Self-worth, it is an internal sense of self-value and capability. It's a feeling that you deserve respect and consideration. This is the major lacuna that most women suffer, that they actually don't realize the potential and the worth that they hold as women, be it in terms of leaders, homemakers, entrepreneurs, or corporate sectors, or whatever they are working into. They don't realize their self-worth. So this is very important an aspect. Next, it is directly proportional to empowerment. When we talk in terms of empowerment, this is very important that a lady, a woman develops a strong sense of self-worth. Once it is developed, it enables women to take control of their lives. Why? Because she's in a position to take wise decisions. She makes independent choices and assert their rights in both personal and professional contexts. Next, development of self-worth is very essential for the mental health. A healthy sense of self-worth promotes better mental health, reducing the feeling of inadequacy, anxiety, and depression, which often stems from the societal pressures and negative self-perception. Next, confidence. Women with high self-worth, they are more likely to exhibit confidence in their abilities, leading to greater success, be it in the careers, be it in the educational front, and their relationships. Next, it is directly related to the resilience. Self-worth fosters resilience. It helps women to cope with the setbacks, as every person human or has this setbacks or any kind of failures, but women needs to develop her self-worth so that she is in a position to come back with the criticism, the failures, and motivating them to continue striving towards their goals so they don't stop somewhere. Next, breaking the societal norms. This is very fundamental to bringing about a larger change into the system where the societal norms hinder a woman's development. Promoting self-worth helps challenge and dismantle the limiting gender norms that restrict the women's potential, encouraging equality and social change. Next, it also fosters healthy relationships. So, women who value themselves are more likely to establish and maintain healthier relationships based on mutual respect, equality, and understanding. Next, personal growth. Self worth is very important when we talk in terms of women and their development. So, when women recognize their intrinsic value, they are more motivated to pursue personal development and self improvement, whether it is in education, career growth, or development of their personal interests. Next, this is an ideal for any society where we develop women as role models because they prove to be the mirrors where the future generation sees themselves to be getting into the right track. So women who develop strong self-worth, they serve as role models for younger generation, showing them the importance of self-respect, confidence, and the pursuit of their dreams. Next, advocacy and leadership, again a very important aspect of development of women. So women with a solid sense of self-worth are more likely to take on leadership roles, advocate for their rights. This is very important, that they stand for what they say and what rights do they have. So they are in a better position to advocate their rights and inspire others to do the same. Last, breaking free from external validation. This is very important. At times, a person keeps seeking external validation when he or she is restricted to certain societal, family, or any kind of restrictions. So, since women have been over the past years, many years, have been undermined for her value, for her role that she plays. So, this sense of self-worth, if it develops in a woman, this would be helping her break the external validation factors that she mostly seeks. So strong sense of self-worth, it reduces the dependency on external validation, and it encourages a women to trust their own judgment and embrace their authentic selves. So these are the important aspects that have to be taken into consideration. And it is very important, we as women, we as a society, we as a change agent should foster this kind of development in women. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Seema ma'am. You have kept your time, and it had been very educative. The very important dimension and facet of women's personality, because at the end, when you said breaking external validation, it's very difficult. Maybe many of us, we are prone to external validation, and there once again we come across one of the great barriers. Now, to come to the
Yes,
end.
Dr. Ushashi, before finish presidential address, we can invite Professor Dashura.
Yes,
He is Vice Chancellor
yes,
of different universities. What he is thinking about women empowerment.
Yes,
So, Professor Dashura, you are here.
Professor Dashura.
Yeah, I'm here.
You are, what do I say? You are that intellectual whom we have got. Where you have spent your time, you are giving your time. So we naturally need your views on the topic. And today's overall topic was Accelerate Action for Women Empowerment. It is Accelerate Action. Dr. Dashura, please. Professor Dashura, please.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to express my views. Respected Ushashi Madam, all panelists, I would only say in a few lines that the topic for today's is very pertinent, and I would acknowledge our chairperson, Professor Ushashi, for in her first sentence expressing that we are empowered women. She very empathetically, very clearly mentioned that we all are empowered women. First of all, we should realize, and all women should realize, that they are empowered women. The concept of women empowerment started in 1907 or 9 in West. And today, after this much of long period in 21st century to 2025, we are discussing the same thing in a stereotype manner. Is not it challenging to us? Is not it haunting us? It's a very basic question. We should start thinking out of the box first. First of all, I congratulate Hemlata Madam to frame the title Accelerating the Empowerment. So when we are already empowered, we should accelerate it. It's a different thing. We must feel that we are empowered women. And I would say that at this moment in this discussion, we should resolve that next time onwards, we empowered women, our path ahead is this. This should be decided. And I think that Hemlata Madam will take my request And next time she will frame such a discussion entitled We Empowered Women and Our Way Ahead. And for that, I think that the concept of equality and equity at all fronts, not only in jobs, in all fronts. And for that, we need to address the empowerment of downtrodden people. Maybe male, female. Why not? Are we in 21st century, which has already been past a quarter of it, deciding the same thing, which about 125 years ago we started? Are we not in a position to rethink, frame the strategies? And why should we feel that we are not empowered? I think that all speakers in their delivery mentioned that we need empowerment. And simultaneously, we are also mentioning that our women's folk are doing that much of good work. Without being empowered, can anybody do any work, any output? Can they deliver? It's a very serious matter. And if we intellectuals, if we people who are the icons of the society cannot decide our future ahead, our future pathway, then perhaps we are stereotyped in our thoughts. We are repeating the same thing, which perhaps we repeated 10 years ago, 20 years ago, in similar discussions. Friends, I remember, because it is out of context, I quote one experience of my own. When I was a student, the problem India facing was a matter of discussion among students. College and universities started giving topic for discussion, and population was a increase in population is a big problem for India. That time I just mentioned in my just a debate discussion that a person born increasing 1 unit in the population, he is increasing 2 hands also. He is a manpower, and today perhaps India is proud of its manpower. We are not mentioning that our population is a problem. So we should start thinking in a different way. But it is about 50 years ago I started this thing, and today we are realizing it. But I was a student that time, and I had to speak against motion, so I just picked up it. But it was a reality, because I started thinking out of the box. Why not we all start thinking out of the box? Why do we need anything special? Are we not competent enough? Are we not enough capable? And you all are the icons of the society. As an icon of the society, do we realize our responsibility? You are the leader of the society, and we want leaders. You are the leaders. We are the leaders. Can we think in these terms? This is what my submission is. Otherwise, everyone has spoken very well. Educated we people, and at least I got many information which I was not having. But still, information from any side is just an contribution in my information bank. But contribution in the capacity and deliverance bank is different thing. My capacity is to be increased, and capacity of an individual is to be increased. Capacity of a person who is deprived of many things, maybe male or female, he should be provided, and its capacity should be increased. It is for the society, it is for the nation, it is for the world, it is for the globe. Our Glean sir is working for the constitution, world constitution, where, and we started talking in terms of male female. Is it correct? Yesterday only, when we celebrated the same day, I mentioned that every day is Women's Empowerment Day. It is not one day. Every day, every moment, Can we think in these terms? I have just, and I wanted to comment all these in a very small time because time has already been lapsed. Purpose is that I want you all to be leader, change maker, a person who can contribute in the change in the society, who can bring the change in the society, who can bring the change in the mindset of the people. It is rather necessary as on today. And I think that my humble request will be taken care of, and I would be honored, and I would be obliged to be enlightened more, and for more information on the present status of saying that women empowerment stereotype, repeating it. I would be happy to know that more information be given, so that I can also start speaking like this. I extend my heartiest thanks to the all organizers and giving me a chance to speak my views. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you very, very much, Professor Dashora. And then I assure you, give a promise that every day, all of us who are following the norms of the society and striving hard, we will go on marching ahead in empowering ourselves more and more, and those who are not, helping them to bring to the mainstream. Thank you again, Dr. Dashora. We will always be obliged to your golden words. Now, I come to one of our very much we look forward to someone's, again, golden words. Please guess who it could be for the presidential address of Madam Phyllis Turk.
Welcome, ma'am.
Madam Phyllis Turk, we are waiting for your golden words. You kindly unmute yourself and educate us.
Why, thank you. And good evening, my sisters and brothers. I have to say this was a very worthwhile program. So I thank you for inviting me here to say a few words. I'm representing the World Constitution and Parliament Association here at this discussion on accelerating action for women's empowerment. The Constitution for the Federation of Earth was written by an international committee of experts in international law and human affairs. It was accepted as a completed document in 1991. It was probably assumed at that time that the references to all people on Earth meant all people on Earth. But we've learned time and time again that that was not sufficient. Gender equality has yet to be achieved around the world, where many women remain second-class citizens. Religion and culture are often quoted to justify the subjugation of women by claiming that so-called safeguards to protect women from getting an education, from having bodily autonomy, or in some instances, even protecting them from the right to independent thought. Where laws have been passed to address this inequality, they're often not enforced. In 2021, at the 15th session of the Provisional World Parliament, recognizing this persistent problem, they passed the World Legislative Act number 68, called the Statute on the Rights of Women. The act recognizes that the rights of women are key to establishing universal human rights. The Provisional World Parliament formed a Commission on Women's Rights, with WCPA Women's Forum in India constituting the initial Commission on Women's Rights to study and adopt policies and programs that educate the public on the status of women. What I've been hearing today, and it was really wonderful, the Reverend Laura George encouraging us to follow the Founding Mothers movement and see what they're doing and participate. Professor Nasrim provided many examples of women overcoming adversity in order to succeed. Dr. Garima Sharma encouraging opportunities for skill development in education. What comes to mind to me is you frequently see internship programs where women can use the skills they're actually being taught. Unfortunately, they're rarely paid. Dr. Hemlata Jalesar clarified the values and behaviors that women bring to the leadership role. It can make such a tremendous difference. And Dr. Tyagi did a fantastic job pointing out the critical need to develop self-worth. I'd be surprised, even in this group, if there were not women who had not had moments of extreme self-doubt. Dr. Dashora, noting the need to empower all women across the economic and class lines. These words have been repeated many times in past decades. And he pointed out the need to address the population, which is one of those topics that's so often avoided. But we know that women who are educated and empowered tend to have fewer children. Programs like this one today, where outstanding panelists discuss accelerating action to empower women, serve to bring us closer to our true goal of equality. So I thank you.